out to them, look here, we're living in a global village. We cannot afford these fatal polarities. And that we're not here to try and show that the Europeans did nothing. Everybody knows he did a lot. That's all we hear about. What we're here to show is that we don't have to beg you to think that we're equal. We have proof that we're equal. And we just want you to look again at your history. Take off your blindfold and you will see equal people walking upon the earth. That, therefore, is where the whole thing is. We're not getting into Egypt because we want to dwell on fantasies. We're getting into Egypt because we want to return to the true reality of the world. It is unbalanced. It is sick because we are the victims of a grave fantasy, a grotesque fantasy. When the black woman is raped, no big press conference. The white woman is raped. Everybody alarmed, kill them, kill them. The reason for that is because we have a deep thing that has become part of our consciousness, that the white matters. His civilization, his values, his skin, his people matter, but we don't matter. It's like in that book on Huckleberry Finn. When somebody ran up, they heard a great commotion. What happened? Nothing. Just 2 niggers got killed. Doesn't matter. Nothing has happened. A nigger got raped. That's not important. So that we have got to fight this, because at the root of prejudice is the vision of the world. The vision that we have come to accept. These are the givens. Therefore, it's not a little academic issue. It is a matter of life and death. What we were fighting in Dallas is not about any little exhibition. We were fighting against something that is deep in the psyche of our world, something that is sick, something that has made us victims, something that has driven some of us so crazy that we want to make other people victims like ourselves. Something that has made us victims of our own race. Something that has made us victims of so many things. That is why this history is important. I am not going to talk about it in the passionless voice of an academic, because it's no academic issue to me. It's too real. Bernal has written a book called Black Athena. Bernal is a very extraordinary man. He was a Don at Cambridge. That's the furthest you could go in the Western world in terms of academia. He's also a master of Chinese. He's written a book called Black Athena, in which he shows that one of the pharaohs, one of the black pharaohs, founded Athens, the major city in Greece. All the Greeks came into Egypt, even as today, out of my shattered world, I had to go to Europe to study, to mislearn about my heritage, and then later, using what I had, to learn all over again by myself. I am my own university. Even then, in the reverse way did the Greeks go into Africa. Thales of Miletus, and I love to make it sound like a song, because some people have made songs of their suffering and songs of their achievements and have made them the universal songs of the world. Some people have even made statements that they're the chosen ones and that what happened to them matters more than anything else in the world. We do not want to be part of that, but we want to sing our history because it must become intimate to us. Rather than to sing the kind of empty songs many of us sing today, let us sing of the things that are still native to us, so that we could feel it deep in our guts. So when I call the names of the Greeks who came to study under us, it's like a song in my head. Thales of Miletus, Democritus, Pythagoras, Eutychus, Anaximander, Anaximenes, Heraclitus. These are the people who came and stole and brought it back into Greece. But they were not the great thieves because many of them admitted it. It is later when Europe felt overawed by this, humbled by this, they had to go back and say, no, it's not true. These people, they had only reached a certain level in mathematics, at an empirical level, trial and error. They had not achieved mathematical genius. When you go and study Egypt, and it will take several lifetimes, because it's the only civilization that is so well preserved. No people on earth have been able to preserve their bodies as the Africans have done. If we have a chance to show slides tonight, I will show you a princess, and she's only one of many. Princess Anutawi, who died more than 4,000 years ago. You can see the texture of her skin. You can see her hair, her African hair. You can see her mouth. You can see her eyelids. 4,000 years ago. In 1964, in the University of Oklahoma, they opened the skin of an African princess who had died thousands of years ago, Princess Mini. And they said she was so well preserved that the cells within her hand could be put in a solution and transplanted. We are not dealing with the kind of mediocrity that we have become accustomed to and take for granted in ourselves in a world where we have been inferiorized, because that is really the key to it. We are not inferior, we have been inferiorized. And the only way we can move away from that feeling of inferiority and that kind of performance that is mediocre and inferior is becoming aware of what can correct this, because that is really where the universe is. Don't tell me because it is too late. It's never too late. Man has just begun his journey. There's nothing that is too late. This is the universe. This is never late. This is timeless. This is consciousness. Don't tell me any nonsense about how AIDS are going to kill us by the year 2000. That is nonsense. AIDS is a joke compared to what struck Europe. The Black Death killed 50% of Europeans. AIDS will never kill 50% of the world's people. By the time it reaches that point, they would find the solution to it. In Europe, the way they would go to collect garbage in the morning, they would go to collect corpses. That was how terrible the Black Death was, worse than AIDS. There was not a single family that did not lose half of its people during the time of the Black Death. And they didn't have our technology. Those early Europeans, they couldn't sit in the lab and find out what germ started this, what system it is hitting, where to hit it back and things like that, which is what we're doing in our struggle to deal with it. Don't give me these gloomy stories. Black people have reached into the darkness so deeply. All they want to hear is darkness. You can't grow out of darkness. You have to become aware of your horror, because it brings an anger which can charge you and change you. But do not let it overwhelm you. You have to balance that terror with hope. Hope springs from the past. Hope has to be brought into the present by a genuine conscious effort. If all you have is darkness, if all you have is the memory and knowledge of gloom, if you never struggle to move out of that gloom, you will be crushed, because it is darkness that kills, not AIDS. It is hopelessness that destroys a race. You have to know that there is something happening in the world that is unusually hopeful. It is not an accident that it is in this very time that is happening. We have found so many things that startle us. Look at the Japanese. Everybody thinks, the Asiatic. Now we're finding the Asiatic has the finest brain. The Japanese is very sophisticated. He's superior. The Japanese were humbled a few years ago. The Japanese went to Egypt, our country, and tried to build